The drive out of Dublin was gloomy and wet. The rental car moaned of a life of regret. My mobile locked up, it wouldn't reset. Already my schedule was blown. Somewhere on a bar, bleak and profound, the Opal expired with a death rattle sound. I gathered my bags, looked all around. The moon lit a moss-covered stone, sunk in a tilt in the loam. Carved in the rock, I could barely make out a jumble of letters, a village no doubt. 8 kilometers, an arrow south. I set out in search of an inn. Over highland and valley I trudged in the dark. Far away, an occasional shower of sparks. I pondered this mystery until I did hark the welcome convivial din, a merrily bibulous din. I rounded a hillock, descended a draw, into the sweetest town I ever saw, where under a thatching of straw stood a pub all aglow in good cheer. I fell through the door, crawled to the bar, ordered a pint, put a tip in the jar. The bartender said, "You've traveled afar, for scarce is the visitor here. There's naught but us villagers here." Small wonder, I said, a little bit curt, "Your guiding post is lost in the dirt." He grinned and said, "Aye, and that's how we prefer it. We're insular and content." At that moment a ruddy gent hoisted his glass. "To Paddy," he bade, and the place was en masse. They bellowed a song with a zeal unsurpassed, and here is the way that it went. "Roll on, Paddy, don't you be late, for the banshees circle in wait. Your spirit incites them, your pegfire ignites them, slancha they all immolate." I knew I was tired and the Guinness was strong, but I swear I had never heard such an odd song of banshees and burning and rolling along, and a pegfire. Now what could that be? The barkeep leaned in like a priest at confession. "Traveller, that's a puzzled expression. You're plainly confused at our wee superstition, this folkloric fiddle-dee-dee we learned at our grandparents' knees." He cocked a thick eyebrow and tugged at an ear, a signal, I think, as it seemed a bit weird, for out of the throng at that instant appeared a ravishing angel of air. She wore writing letters of midnight and bone, no gap between the skin of the deer and her own. I tried not to stare, but was utterly thrown by her grace and her beauty so rare. 'Twas little on earth could compare. I shan't prattle on, but I can't resist. This lass put a lump in my throat like a fist. Her eyes shone and sparkled like jewels in the mist, her hair a tempest of gold. Primal, hypnotic, a meteor shower, she moved like a panther, all sleekness and power. Commanding her space, she was not a wallflower. The crowd continued bold. "Roll on, Paddy, don't you be late, for the banshees circle and wait. Your spirit incites them, your pegfire ignites them, slancha they all immolate." She strode to the bar where a tumbler was placed, brimming with amber. She took but a taste, conferred with the barkeep, and then turned to face me and smiled. My heart skipped a beat. I'm Paddy, pleased to make your acquaintance. According to Liam, you haven't the faintest idea the gist of our little refrain. 'Tis a tall tale you need to dispute, and to you I will tell it complete. In a voice soothing as Irish cream she began. Paddy O'Malley was born to this land in the 30s when Ireland was learning to stand on its own with a freedom hard fought. Living was tough as it was the worldwide. Unemployment and fascism rose like a tide. But at the O'Malleys, love did abide as they toiled on their wee little plot, with its cottage and simmering pot. Da tilled and planted, then harvested rocks. Ma did the cooking, darned their socks, and Paddy O'Malley helped out round the clock, an uncommonly dutiful boy. But young Paddy had an adventurous side, a pretend fighter pilot. He'd bank and he'd dive on his bicycle, scraping the paint as he'd slide, kicking up sparks in his joy, scattering gravel and sparks in his joy. Roll on, Paddy, don't you be late, while the banshees circle in wait. Your spirit incites them, your Pegfire ignites them, slant you they all immolate. One morning, September 1939, the O'Malleys were purchasing canvas and twine. Went out of the pub, Seamus Kelly ran crying, the Germans and Brits are at war. Around the old oak bar the villagers milled. England be buggered, said Darby McGill. They fought us relentless, Churchill and kill. This fight is theirs, not ours. Nay, this fight is theirs, not ours. Then Da stood and nervously started to speak. To spill Irish blood for the Brits I don't seek, but fascism preys on the silent and meek. We must stand against evil or fall. Well, Ireland stayed neutral, but Dad took up arms, and his volunteer regiment angrily stormed across France, driving Nazis from hamlets and farms, till he stepped on a mine in Moselle. In the chapel back home rang the knell, wafting o'er a place deep in the dell. Paddy and Ma broken-heartedly grieved. Ma sobbed in the soil, a spirit is weaved. Swear to me, boy, that you never will leave. Fiercely, Paddy, said I, but from the loss of her darling, Ma couldn't recover. She took ill and months at death's door did hover, and then she was gone. Paddy buried his mother, in a howl of pain he let fly, and his anguish fractured the sky. End of part 1. Intermission.